Coming up on Eyewitness News, watch out for high water.
Once this is gone, we have really nowhere to go.
Neighborhoods all across the area are flooded. One Kanawha County family shows us the damage done to their home. Closed roads.
I didn't know that flooded usually.
Flooding closes down roadways where you need to stay away from. The snow is piling up. Where we're seeing the snowfall and how much is on the way.
Rain showers changing over to snow tonight. I'll let you know how the rest of your weekend is shaping up.
West Virginia's source for news. Eyewitness News starts right now.
High water problems, communities underwater, homes flooded, and slick conditions out there on the roadways. Good evening, I'm Elizabeth Nareka. This is Eyewitness News, and we'll get to those stories in just a moment. But first, we have a breaking news alert to bring you out of Putnam County. A very sad discovery to tell you about tonight. Putnam County detectives tell us they believe they have found the body of missing Scott Depot man Brian Sexton. Sexton disappeared October 14th after leaving a party in Scott Depot. Detectives tell us a hunter found a body in the woods this afternoon around 3 o'clock, just a few hundred feet off of I-64. While deputies tell us they won't be able to give a positive ID until after an autopsy, there were items on that body that led them to believe that it is in fact Brian Sexton. Right now, no foul play is suspected. Detectives were assisted by the FBI along with several other agencies. They tell us they have informed the family, who had been searching tirelessly for Brian. We'll keep you updated on this developing story as more details become available. And now back to our top story tonight, this messy storm system that's moving through. We have team coverage. Chief Meteorologist Jim Barrick is here in the studio. Eyewitness News reporter Katie Brown is live in Kanawha County. And Eyewitness News reporter Dan Maddox is keeping an eye on things to our west in Campbell County. We start in the Weather Center with Chief Meteorologist Jim Barrick.
Thank you, Liz. Yes, we've seen the rain very steadily falling throughout the last more than 24 hours, probably about 30 hours or so. And then it's come to a rather abrupt end. We were seeing the rain showers through about 8 o'clock tonight. Then things just really started to taper off. We're looking at our live Doppler radar now. We see that there are still some light to moderate showers over the mountain counties. And we're seeing a little bit of some ice as well up around the Craigsville area, some sleet coming down. So we could have some very slick conditions there overnight. What we're going to do is zoom in on Charleston. And right now it looks like things are becoming very dry, but we do have some snow falling up in southern Ohio around Vinton County in towards Gallia County and moving over towards Meigs County and in towards West Virginia as well. And some light snow showers, and those will be moving into the region as we make our way through the night. Not looking for much, if any, in the way of accumulations, but the temperature is getting cold enough now where any moisture will be freezing. And it also means that we could have some slick road conditions overnight, so keep that in mind. Let's take a quick look outside on our Charleston storm cam. It's down to 35 right now, cloudy skies and dry for the time being. Here's how your Saturday's shaping up. 7 in the morning, I think we'll have a couple of isolated snow showers still falling. You could have some slick roads. We'll be down to 29 degrees, 32 by lunchtime, and only 36 despite the fact we'll have some sunshine out by the afternoon, but a very cold air mass will be in place. I'll be back with my forecast coming up, and I'll show you where the warnings and watches are still in effect. That's coming up in just a few more minutes.
Jim, thank you. And with this weather, high water is a concern not only for the roads, but for homes as well. Eyewitness News reporter Katie Brown joins us live in Charleston. And earlier this evening, Katie, you spoke with one family who now has basically a swimming pool in their basement.
Elizabeth, that's right. Dave Schaefer has been working all day to make sure something like this wouldn't happen. But now he says all he can do is watch the water rise.
I'm kind of worried because once this is gone, we have really nowhere to go.
As rain continues to fall, the water continues to rise, flooding several homes in the Paint Creek area of Kanawha County.
It's just running across the road, and then it's filling up, and it's filling up, and it's filling everybody's lots up here, and this is what we end up with. I don't think it's ever been this bad.
My stepdad actually started coming out at 8 o'clock this morning to start on the yards because it all got flooded up through there, and it's just not even help. It just, more he puts out, the more it comes in.
Water has not reached the main floor of this home, but the basement is another story.
I got about 4 foot in my basement.
And this is a familiar sight for Roma. Her family lost their home to flooding more than 3 years ago.
Water was up to our waist, so we lost everything there, and It was gone.
And as the rain stays steady, all Schaefer can do is hope for the best.
I don't know what to do. I don't know. I need help.
And the roads out that way were very dangerous. Several high water areas throughout the county. And unless it's necessary, try to stay in tonight. And as those temperatures drop, it could get worse. Reporting live in Charleston, Katie Brown, Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Katie. Elsewhere in Kanawha County, an apartment complex and a house in Shrewsbury are seeing some flooding as well. This is what the Mox apartment complex looked like around 7 o'clock tonight. As you can see, the parking lot and the road leading up to both the apartment complex and a house are underwater. The owner blames a culvert that is under the Norfolk Southern train tracks.
Now there's probably a foot to foot and a half of water around the house back there. It's done got under the house. Maybe 6 or 8 inches that's going to be in the house. The apartments are high enough that I doubt the water would get in those, but the whole parking lot and the road to the house is covered with.
The owner says if the water gets any higher, that the tenants will have to go to a hotel until that water subsides. While some areas are dealing with high water, parts of Ohio are now dealing with steady snowfall. Eyewitness News reporter Dan Maddox is just back from Ohio, where that snow is already piling up. Dan?
Well, Liz, right now here in Huntington, the rain is continuing to come down, but as you drive north into Ohio, that rain turns into sleet, which then turns into snow. This is actually the scene on U.S. Route 52 in the Willersburg and Portsmouth area. The snow came down very, very quickly. Road crews could barely keep up with it, and it blanketed the roadways, causing a lot of congestion, but most drivers took their time, and there wasn't really any major accidents. There hasn't been any major accidents to tell you about, but this storm has caught the attention of people worried about losing their power. I talked to one man who was gassing up his generator.
Just got out to get some gasoline for my generator in case we lose power Sunday night. Better safe than sorry.
Okay, now. And here in Cabell County, over at the Huntington Mall in Barbersville, the road leading up to the Walmart and Chick-fil-A was actually had to completely be shut down due to high water. The car actually stalled out in the middle of this pond, I guess you can call it. The driver wasn't hurt, but for people perhaps doing their Christmas shopping and working, well, this doesn't happen too often.
It's nuts, really. I didn't expect there to be I didn't know that flooded usually. I've never seen it do that before. And I've been here for 9 months and I still haven't seen it do that once.
And of course, this is a really good reminder not to drive through high water. In keeping with the high water concern here in Huntington, the 10th Street Viaduct is closed. The water's forced it to shut down around 4 this afternoon. Of course, when it will be opening, we'll keep you updated. And here in Huntington, road crews have started salting the roadways around 10 o'clock, and they're going to be expecting a very long weekend for them. Reporting live in Huntington, Dan Maddox, Eyewitness News.
Dan, thank you for staying on top of that. In Lincoln County, floodwaters blocked roads and trapped at least one family in a flooded home today. Floodwater poured out of small streams over roads and farm fields. Most of the trouble was in traditionally flood-prone areas. Along the Little Coal River, the road was closed after a mudslide and slip tore out a section of roadway and water lines. The rain continued throughout the day, leaving many people with concerns for themselves and others.
We do. Duval area has time. My children go to Duval, and we're always constantly worried about it flooding there. Of course, school got let out today, and the kids were excited about that, but I worry about the residents. You never know what's going to happen.
There is concern what will happen late Sunday and Monday when more rain is expected. The ground is saturated and actual flooding is still taking place in spots. School officials around the region weren't taking any chances today when it came to those rising waters. Several schools let out early. Roane County had early dismissal, as did Lincoln County. Boone County was on a 2-hour delay, and Clay County had early dismissal too. And students at Clay Elementary in Clay County didn't seem too bothered, though, to get an extended weekend. School officials say the county just had too much water near the southern end to make it safe for buses to get kids home. They took steps before things got any worse and dismissed school around 11 o'clock this morning. Second grader Dylan McCumbers was a little sad about missing out on his favorite part of the day.
I'm kind of a little depressed that we didn't have recess, but when I get home, I'll probably get to play Minecraft.
School officials are urging parents to keep a close eye on Monday's conditions because there could easily be some delays or closings then as this storm picks up. And this is video from the West Virginia 511 website. A good view of what the roads look like right now for travelers. Just a lot of rain out there, but as the temperatures drop, drivers should keep in mind the roads can get slick, so you want to watch for that. And emergency officials suggest you take some precautions when the weather gets bad. In your car, keep extra food, blankets, and water. Also, make sure your vehicle is winterized and that your gas tank is full. At home, keep water and non-perishable food, enough to last 3 days in case you do lose power. Don't forget about extra pet and baby food too. Have a flashlight with extra batteries, a first aid kit, and all important medications to last a week. And have plenty of blankets and layered clothing to keep warm. And we're staying on top of this storm to bring you the very latest information. You can also follow us online at WCHSTV.com and on our social media pages on Facebook and Twitter. And don't forget, when you're on our website, sign up for the mobile text alerts. We will also post the parade and holiday event cancellations and when they're rescheduled on WCHSTV.com. And just a reminder, if you're able to safely, now we want to stress that, safely take pictures or video, you can share it with Eyewitness News. Just look for the See It, Shoot It, Send It icon on WCHSTV.com. A scare at school in Preston County today as more than a dozen elementary school students are taken to the hospital. It happened today at Tunnelton Denver Elementary School. The school superintendent says classes were dismissed early after smoke from a furnace at a nearby business got into the school's ventilation system. 20 children were affected, complaining of respiratory problems. They were taken to the hospital as a precaution, but were told they are okay. This incident is still under investigation. A man wanted for escaping police custody yesterday is behind bars tonight because of a car wreck. Charleston police arrested Troy White this afternoon. Police were working a wreck on I-77 southbound near the 35th Street exit when they noticed a car in the traffic that matched the description of his car. White had turned himself into Marmet police yesterday on an outstanding warrant for armed robbery, but decided to take off during processing. 3 people were injured in a head-on collision in Huntington this afternoon. The Cabell County Sheriff's Office responded to that accident in the 3500 block of 16th Street in Huntington around 2 o'clock this afternoon. Deputies say the driver traveling northbound hit another car going southbound. 3 people were injured in that accident. Deputies say charges could be pending against the driver. 2 men are behind bars after allegedly kidnapping a woman Thursday. Tyler Roy and Brandon Burdett are both charged with kidnapping. According to court documents, Roy and the victim, a woman police say he's had a past relationship with, were talking in his car. At one point, she got out of the car, and that's when police say both Roy and Burdett grabbed her and pushed her back in. Documents say Roy drove around Charleston for about 45 minutes, keeping the victim in a headlock, threatening to kill her and throw her in the Kanawha River. Their lawyer said off camera the allegations are false and stem from the past relationship. In consumer news tonight, a tax break set to expire at the end of the year could mean big tax bills for some struggling homeowners. The break passed in 2007 helps homeowners who seek debt forgiveness when they owe more on their mortgages than their homes are worth. The bank can sometimes cut families a deal by reducing the principal or forgiving the mortgage balance after a short sale where the seller owes more than the final price. Under traditional IRS law, the amount of the debt forgiveness is considered taxable income. Now that the break is set to expire, people who take advantage of such debt forgiveness could end up owing big bucks. Experts say a return of the tax could damage the ongoing recovery of the housing market. Don't expect to see a deal on the federal budget this week in Congress. Senior Republican and Democratic aides tell CNN that the 2 leaders running negotiations have left Washington for the weekend. That means an agreement is not expected until next week at the earliest. House Budget Chairman Paul Ryan and Senate Budget Chairman Patty Murray are leading a budget conference committee that has until next Friday, December 13th, to set the spending level for the federal government. If they fail, it would set off another potential budget showdown. Current government funding runs out in January. Near the same time, billions of dollars in new budget cuts are set to hit. 2 million Facebook, Gmail, and Twitter passwords were stolen as part of a massive computer hack. Researchers at cybersecurity firm TrustWave say the data breach was the result of malware installed on computers worldwide. The virus captured login credentials for some 93,000 websites over the past month. The info was tracked down to at least one server in the Netherlands, controlled by the thieves. Analysts suggest computer users update their antivirus software and download the latest versions of the internet browsers to help secure data.
Yes, the final weekend of the high school football season is here. The Super Six, that means, of course, in Wheeling, where the Wayne Pioneers going for 3 straight state titles and a record 37 straight wins, all in one shot. Wayne versus Bridgeport for the AA championship. But look at this. A matchup of 1 versus 2, and Wayne goes down. All the scoring in this game done in the first half. Wayne shut out in the second half. Bridgeport gets the win 14-13, an unbelievable one right there. Crazy, crazy game. The Wayne Pioneers fall, they lose. All right, meantime, tomorrow we've got another 1 versus 2 matchup. Huntington versus Martinsburg. Huntington looks to avoid the same fate. Martinsburg's number 2, but of course they're the favorite because they are the 3-time defending champs. From I-68 to I-79 to I-70. That's the road Martinsburg travels to Wheeling, and it's a journey Dave Walker and his program knows well.
Our kids are familiar with surroundings. They've went through this routine, and they know what to expect.
What they expect is to win. After all, Martinsburg is the 3-time defending champs. And while the Bulldogs haven't faced Huntington yet this year, they have already beat 2 teams from the same conference. With postseason wins over Cabell Midland and Capital, Coach knows his team is battle-tested.
Yeah, we've played some great teams here in the postseason, so we're very honored to still be in it and have another opportunity.
A few years ago, Billy Seals went 0-10 in his first year at Huntington. Dave Walker can relate, as his first team didn't win a game in his first season either.
There's a fine line between 0-10 and 10-0, and you coach your kids up, and hopefully they respond, and he's done a great job, and their kids are playing well.
Huntington's stable of athletes will have their work cut out, trying to contain Martinsburg quarterback Malik Watkins. But he's not the only threat.
Yeah, Malik's done a great job. He's a fine athlete, and he's surrounded by some good people as well. So, it takes more than one person, and I think the thing that's been good for us, our kids have played together as a team on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively.
Huntington has its hands full. The Martinsburg defense has pitched 4 shutouts this year. The offense has scored as many as 76 points. The Bulldogs' only loss was a 1-point setback that came on the road at Tuscarora, Virginia. And, of course, don't miss our final edition of Friday Night Football Extra. Tonight, Kenny Bass and me will be along to discuss the AA game. Look ahead to Saturday's action as well. Friday Night Football Extra presented by the Thornhill Auto Group tonight, WCHS TV 1110. Hey, complete highlights from Wheeling as the Wayne Pioneers fall just short in doing it again. A bit later in Sports Plus, Marshall looks for a championship. All that and more right around the corner.
A Sissonville couple going through a family tragedy is giving back during their time of grief. Eyewitness News reporter Caitlin Sykes explains how the Salvation Army's Angel Tree is keeping their little boy's spirit alive.
He's just he was just a really wonderful kid.
For J.D. and Amanda Bean, the holiday season feels a little bit emptier this year. While they welcome their 8-month-old daughter, Adeline, their 2.5-year-old son, Josiah, lost his battle with gastrochesis 2 weeks ago. Josiah was born with a hole in his abdominal wall, causing his intestines to stick out.
You wouldn't think that a 2-year-old would have such an impact on people's lives, but he made such a difference in everyone he came in contact with.
The Beans had already bought just about all of Josiah's Christmas gifts, including trucks, clothes, and Mickey Mouse, and said they didn't feel right holding on to them.
We were walking through the mall, picking out his burial outfit, and we saw the Angel Tree for Salvation Army. And right away I knew that we had to pick one of these kids, that's what we were supposed to do with those presents.
One angel named Nathan stood out to the Beans, and they knew that he was the one.
My son was into Mickey Mouse, anything Disney, monster trucks. So I looked down, and that was like probably the 3rd or 4th one I seen. 2 years old, like Mickey Mouse, like trucks, and needed clothes. I was like, this is just perfect.
I hope that the little boy will enjoy them as much as I know my son would have.
A family sharing the Christmas spirit with another family, giving true meaning to what this season is all about. In Charleston, Caitlin Sykes, Eyewitness News.
The family is also hoping to raise awareness about their son's disease. They're hoping to hold an event next July in Charleston. The family has also set up a fund for Josiah's tombstone at West Banco. Eyewitness News has had a very successful week collecting gifts for our annual Tower of Toys campaign. But we still need your help. One group, the Alzheimer's Car Club of Charleston, has helped out with the toy drive for the last 4 years, and they're still going strong. Eyewitness News reporter Terry Burhans has more.
It's all about Tower of Toys, and today at Robert's Running and Walking Store, we've got WK Muncie with the Tallman Track Club, and you got the big race coming up, the walk, and you're helping us with Tower of Toys. Tell us how it all works together.
It all works together. The City of Charleston, the Tallman Track Club, Robert's Running, and your station sponsor the Tower of Toys. This is our second year. Everybody that shows up at the race on Sunday, we ask them to bring an unwrapped toy.
What time?
And that race is the walk is at 1, and the race is at 2 p.m. And it's all in Canal City, right from CAMC.
We're going rain, shine, snow, anything, wind. We're going to do this.
Yes, we do. We've run in all weather. It is the winter series, so dress warm.
From the first year, you told me you had a number.
We had about 65 finish all 3.
What do you think is going to happen Sunday?
Well, last year we had over 300, and this year we're even a bigger pre-registration, so I think we're going to be the biggest yet.
The good incentive is at the end of all 3 of them, they walk away with a nice piece of clothing.
They walk away with a hoodie from...
Fantastic.
Yeah, we always get a great hoodie, one that doesn't shrink in the dryer. We can get one that will keep its shape, and this year they're going to be maroon.
Fantastic. This is all helping your club, also helping our Tower of Toys unwrapped gift that comes in. What do you think we're going to do? Just think we'll have a big turnout for that?
We had north of 100 just with 2 weeks last year. This year we've been pounding on it for about a month.
Okay.
So I'm looking 250, 300 toys.
We're at Robert's Running and Walking Store here in Charleston, getting ready for the Winter Series on Sunday, and we're helping with the Tower of Toys. I'm Terry Burhans for Eyewitness News.
Thanks, Terry, and we still need your help. You can drop off new unwrapped toys to either our Charleston or Huntington studios, and you have until Friday the 13th. You can also drop off the gifts at these sponsor locations there that you see on your screen. All the items collected will be donated to kids in need through the Union Mission. Once again, our Tower of Toys drive runs through the 13th. Visit a magical land of dancing. We're heading on stage a little later in this newscast. You're watching Eyewitness News, West Virginia's source for news.
Rain showers are tapering off, but now we're looking at a little bit of snow coming in during the overnight hours. I'll let you know how that might affect your commute or wherever you're going in the morning. That is all in my forecast coming up next.